Alrighty folks, welcome and bienvenue. It's Carboot Hall time with your host, Jeff Solo. Yes, Carboot. Today, I went to the faraway one and the close one. Faraway one first because a lot of it's undercover because contrarily to what the BBC promised us, the weather was shit. It started raining. It was alright early doors till about sort of 7:30, 8. No, probably about 8:30 it was okay till then it started to rain, and it didn't stop. So I managed to get this stuff before it started to rain and then just boosted in the car through to the close car boot on the way home. That one was a complete washout. I mean, it was tipping it down there. Everyone had set up, so obviously the weather had been alright earlier on, but they only start at 9 and I got there about sort of 10. And the weather was take the turn for the worse. But I got a few bits, and I'll quickly rattle through them. A wee story about about this fella that I'm just about to show you. I went to this guy. He's never usually there. This new kind of looked like a couple of hobos basically in a van, and they kind of were dragging out boxes of just dross. I mean, it was like broken cutlery and cups and crockery. Just rub. They had an old microwave and all your old sort of pots and pans and stuff. Just rubbish. Yeah, it shouldn't even be at the boot sale. It should be in the skip. But they had a box of Macca's toys and sort of Burger King, that type of thing. But they weren't like the vintage cool ones. They were kind of like the newish, kind of rubbishy ones. And but I was just looking in the box, and I was just having. I always do it. Always rake in the little boxes. So I thought I'll just have a wee rake in here. And the guy was like, "Oh, how you doing, pal? You interested in some of them?" I'm like, yeah, I'm just having a look, pal. He's like, I'll tell you what we'll do. And he just picked the box up and fucking tipped upside down everywhere. I was like, right. He's like, aye, fire in there. And I said, well, how much here be bits and bobs? He's like, 20p each. Well, no, he said it depends first. And then he said 20p each. So I was like, fine. So I picked up this wee guy. It's a wee G1 Transformer in a box of crap, which I thought was ace. It's a little bit yellowed on the wheels, but yeah, I was pretty stoked with that. 20p. I don't find many G1 bots, so I found a few modern ones. I didn't find any today. This was the only one I found, but yeah, I was really happy with that. So yeah, 20p, and I was like, good start. So one of my car boot, it's like part market, part car boot, and there's a lot of the market stall guys. They go out early doors with me and all the other guys that come early doors, and they sort of rifle through and buy stuff and then put it on their stalls for obviously more money. That's how they do it. But there's this guy who does the toys. He's got a toy. It's not Old Chick, it's another guy who does toys. I'm not his biggest fan. He picked out some figures from this box I got the wee bot from, and he pulls out like maybe 9 or 10 Playmobil figures. Granted, a few of them had hats and weapons and whatever else, fucking lollipops or whatever they have in their hands. And he asked the guy, how much do you want for these? And he went, £2, the guy. And I thought, that's fair enough. And this trader guy just threw them in a box and went, no, fucking no chance. And honestly, this guy went absolutely nuts. He's like, fuck's sake, the fucking Legos. I'm not giving the things away. Fucking Legos. It's Playmobil, mate. I was like, oh yeah. And he's like, what's his problem, eh? And I'm like, don't know. He's befriended me at this point. He's introduced himself to me. He loves me. I didn't even speak to him. All I did was buy that for 20p, and we were now blood brothers. So he had an old Game Boy in one of the old boxes. His sort of partner in crime wouldn't let me look at it in the boxes. Oh, let me unpack first, as he's shoveling all this rubbish onto the ground. I'm like, okay, fair dues. But this guy obviously was my pal now. So I said, oh, what, can I just have a quick look at that Game Boy? And he was like, I've got the screen for it. The screen's hanging off. Oh, I've got the screen for it. I'm like, all right, I just wanted to see if there was a game in it. And there was a game in it, and it was this one. It's not focusing very well. Let's see if we can get that to focus a bit better. Yeah, there you go. Gallery 2, Game and Watch. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. I've never seen this game before. But I paid a wee bit. I paid £3 for it. I paid up a bit, but just because I'd never seen it, it's probably worth nothing. It's probably a bust. But you know, you never know. You got to try it, booters, haven't you? You got to give it a go. So yeah, got that for £3. So, and then he introduced himself to me, asked me my name, and he says, if I get any bits, I'll keep them for you and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, he won't be here next week. But I was like, oh, great. So now I've got a crazy friend at the boot sale, a new one, as opposed to Bert and Ernie, who I'm not really getting on with. Although I did buy stuff from one of them today. One of the weirdos, so that's cool. So anyway, that was those two bits. Then I picked up just a couple of random DVDs. I picked up Oz the Great and Powerful. I've seen the movie. I love James Franco, but it's not my favourite movie, but it's got a code in it. So I was pretty happy with that. I'm collecting the Disney codes because that's running out soon. And I want to get myself a box set of the Pixar films Blu-ray. I also picked up this G-Force only because it has a code in it. They were both 50p. So I was like, yeah, we'll take those. I'll bundle them up. I've got a load of Disney DVDs that I'm going to have to sort out and flog on. So I got those two. Sticking to the DVD theme, I got The Hobbit, Blu-ray, new and sealed. That cost me £4. My mum's just got a Blu-ray player, so I'll be helping her add to her collection. A Blu-ray for £4, you can't go wrong, especially brand new. She'll probably end up getting the box set of all three of the films, but at the moment, that'll do her. A classic on Blu-ray is The Green Mile, Tom Hanks. It's one of my mum's favourite films. She's got it on DVD, but she doesn't have it on Blu-ray. That was £3. That's some sort of crazy colour coordination. I don't know if I've taken the stickers off these, I think I have. But I was like red, blue was a £4, red was fucking £3. It was just a complete nonsense. It was like traffic light prices, so yeah, I didn't understand any of that, but got those two. Then I also picked up these. Now, these are for me because both my brothers and I loved the show, Red Dwarf. And between us, we had all the episodes, smeg-ups, everything, but all the discs were missing out of the cases. I've got loads of them up in the loft, and it's just sporadic, Series 5, Series 3, empty cases, scratch discs. So I was like, nah. So I bought myself Volume 1 and Volume 2 of just the shows, which is, that's all I need. So I can get rid of all the rest, probably bin them all, and just keep these two. So yeah, it's proper happy with those. They were £3 each, which I thought was a good deal. So yeah, love Red Dwarf. Fantastic show. Chris Barry is a legend. Right, so that was that. And now I took a bit of a punt on this. The guy, it was this old man who I don't think he'd been out of his wheelchair for about 100 years. His fingers were fluorescent yellow from the amount of puffing he's been getting up to. I think he's either smokes a pipe or something, but his hands were rank. But he had this, and I asked him how much this was. It's the box set of Lovejoy, and it was funny because the stall I went to before, the guy was asking the woman, when I got the Blu-rays from, they're asking the woman, oh, do you have any Lovejoy? And I was like, I've not heard that name in a while. Lovejoy, jeez, that was an old series. My mum used to love it. She had a mad crush on Ian McShane, so we had pictures of him up on the fridge, as you do. So when I was growing up. So yeah, I was like, how much do you want for that? And he said, that's an expensive one. That I can get on eBay for £100. £100? I'm like, well, how much do you want for it? And he was like, 25? I was like, 25 quid? I'm like, I'm not sure. I was like, and he goes, okay, 20 quid. I'm like, right, okay. And I did the technique, hold it in your hands and look away into the distance. The next thing I hear is, okay, 15. So from 25 to 15 in a look away moment. Fantastic. So I'm down to 15 now without even saying anything. So I'm like, okay, great. And I was like, okay. And I looked at him, I said, okay, what's the best deal you can do? And he was like, 14. And he says, I can't do any better than that, son. So I was like, right, okay, well, I'll take a punt at 14 then. Turns out, it's a good buy. It goes on eBay quite regularly for about £50. So I was pretty chuffed with that. So that was good. I might give that as a gift, or I might sell it. But for 50 quid, for 15 quid, sorry, and to get 50 back on it, that's a good buy, and that's pretty much paid for everything today. So yeah, that was really, really good buy. Best buy of the day. Look out for that, guys. Lovejoy box set. If you're doing a bit of reselling. I mean, all the discs are immaculate. I've checked them all, but so it's a nice reset, and it's not as easy to come by as you would think. But I would never have picked that up if it hadn't been for the guy going, oh, have you got any Lovejoy DVDs? So there you go, folks. Listen, listen. Eyes always open. Ears open to fellow carbooters trying to find shit, because that guy ended up making me about 30 quid. So good on him. Random dude. Right, so the next thing I got, right, annuals. Now, I got a few of these annuals. I don't like annuals. I don't know why I bought these. Well, I thought maybe some of you guys would want them. If not, I'm just going to charity shop them, because I can't take annuals. I've collected too much stuff, and annuals take up so much room. So anyway, but I'll show you. I've got some cool ones though. Return of the Jedi annual. I had this one as a kid, so I might keep a hold of this one. But as a rule, I don't collect annuals at all. But yeah, so I've got Return of the Jedi. Also picked up Spider-Man annual. These are all from the kind of late 70s, early 80s. That's that one. Superman 1979. That's a really nice nick, that one. Really, really nice. So that was cool. Good artwork on them too. I love the artwork in these books, especially the Spider-Man. I really like the old Spider-Man cartoons. Another Superman. This one is 1980. That's pretty smart. And then a Spider-Woman, which was pretty obscure. They had, I tell you what else they had. They had Neighbours annuals, Home and Away annuals, Grange Hill. They had a Space Jam one, but I didn't know if anyone was interested in that, so I didn't get it. They had a whole heap of them. But yeah, this one unfortunately has got a bit of damage on the corner. But other than that, it's quite nice. So yeah, I got those. And then the last one, I just got this for a laugh because I thought that is cool, is a Buck Rogers pop-up book. And it's just wicked. Look. It's just all these cool things. You slide, you can like pull the doors open, and there's a Frozen Father Christmas and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty wicked. And there you go, there's a... I just thought it was cool, just worth a wee gander. Look. So yeah, thought it was pretty cool. Fire. Does it fire rockets? Oh, I don't know, does it? Yes, it does. That's cool. Look at that. So yeah, pick that up as well. So they're £1 each, but yeah, just for a bit of a laugh. But I'm not going to keep them. I might keep the Buck Rogers and the Star Wars, but if somebody really, really wants that Buck Rogers one, then I'll probably pass it on to someone who has more of a passion for it. But the annuals are pretty much all up for trade, or if anybody wants them. I know that Pod collects annuals, and I think Paulie does as well. So yeah, if you guys are interested in those, give me a shout and sort something out. Right, these are the cool things I got from Bert, of Bert and Ernie fame. He saw me and he went, oh, Jeff, I'm doing a car boot today. I'm like, oh, fantastic. Oh, I like it, because he's usually got Indiana Jones figures and stuff like that for like £3 a piece. I was like, that's cool. And he was like, yeah, I've got them, and some of them new TIE fighters. And I was like, all right. And I said, George, you mean the First Order ones? He was like, no, the new ones, the new TIE fighters. So I'm thinking, oh, wow, maybe these are sort of legacy collection or something. I was like, how much do you want for them? It's like 20 quid. They're brand new in the box, 20 quid. I'm like, all right, cool. They weren't the legacy collection. They were the First Order TIE fighters, which have all the problems with them. My one's not too bad, to be honest. It's a cool vehicle, but the wings are kind of warped on a lot of them. They're not great sellers. Tesco's did a run on them, and they were selling them for £10 a pop. I think I bought one for Paul, if I remember. Yeah, I did. At 10 quid. So, yeah, it was, you know, he wanted 20 quid for them. I'm like, no chance. But he whipped them out, and I was like, nah. He says, how much do you pay for yours? Like a tenner from Tesco's. But he says, oh, he's got a mate at Tesco's that gets him stuff. Apparently. I don't know. But, yeah, so I don't trust him, though. He's kind of I don't, to be honest with you, there's a rule of thumb now that I'm deploying, as well as the looking away into the distance and just holding a thing that I want and not saying anything. My new rule is not to trust a single soul at the car boot sale at all. You can't have friends at a car boot sale. It just doesn't work. No, they're not your friends. They're maybe business associates if you're going to be posh about it, but they're not your friends. None of them are your friend. So there you go. There's a car booting tip from Jeff Solo. Right, anyway, let's show you what he got me, what he gave me, what he sold me. Some of these bad boys. G.I. Joes, vintage ones. Well, yeah, vintage and modern. I'll just show you the modern ones real quick. I got a Baroness. These were £3 each, so a Baroness. I've had this one multiple times and done quite well on it. A Storm Shadow. I've had this one before as well. And a Scarlet figure as well. So that was pretty cool. So those three were £3 each. And then some Vintage Joes. Got myself this bad boy. Now he wanted to charge me, he charged me £4, but he wanted to charge me £5. And I'm glad I managed to get it for £4 because this bubble's burst up here. It's cracked. But yeah, this one holds a bit of sentimental value to me. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, gotta have that. Because I remember, I had this figure and I remember getting him. I got him for Christmas. Probably the year it came out, actually. What year is it? 1992? Yeah, probably 1992. I got it for Christmas. So yeah, I was pretty stoked with that. That was cool. That's Flint. A good one to start with. And then I got some Star Brigade. I love the Star Brigade line. I thought it was a great line. It was like G.I. Joe in space. I really, really loved it. I still do. I think it's a classic line. Some of the other stuff they did when it came to like in the sort of early 90s was pretty shit. But this stuff really appealed to me. So I got Duke. Which is one I need. I've only got Roadblock of the kind of spacesuit ones, so I got Duke now, so that's really cool. I love the artwork on them. Yeah, so that's Duke, or Duke, however way you want to say it. I also, this guy, Payload. Yeah, I needed this one too. I think I've got Ozone, Roadblock, Payload, and Countdown. I've got him as well now, so that's good. But yeah, so Payload, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, but the interesting thing here is actually, if you see Payload's helmet there, if you flip this over and see Payload is up there, he's got a round helmet. I think there was a mistake when they made the figure. I think this figure was supposed to be that figure. This figure came with one of the vehicles. He came with that vehicle there as well. So I don't know I don't know if even that figure got made. I don't know. I really don't know, but it's always that figure you see. So that was pretty cool. I think it's a completely different sculpt. Yeah, it is. Anyway, that's a useless piece of information for you. So yeah, that's Payload. And then, I've already let the cat out of the bag. It's Countdown as well, which is another one I really needed. So I paid £4 for him, which was cool. Because I paid a lot more for these on eBay and from a comic book shop. So I was very pleased to get Countdown and Payload and Roadblock. Not Roadblock, Duke. So there you go, folks. That's my Carboot haul for this week. Not too bad. Very small. But I like to think it's quality, not quantity, that wins the day. Thanks for sticking around for 18 minutes, folks. Take care of yourselves, and good luck with your booting. Cheers. See you later.